What is mental illness?
Yeah, what is mental illness?
Mental illness is a range of conditions that affect the mood, the behavior, and the thinking of someone. Anything that alters the normal presentation, you can say, is a part of mental illness. That's why they say it's a range of conditions because it varies depending on the circumstances. You see, the factors that can affect the presentation of mental illness is also resident upon the person and the circumstances. For instance, we know there are genetic reasons for where people develop mental illness. The society, the environment can add to it, and the person's personality as well. Another circumstance that either innate to the person or external to the person. One of the things that people do not understand about mental illness is not the person you see on the road that is naked, that is disabled, that you say has mental illness. Normal people, depending on that's why I say it's a range of conditions. So the presentation will depend on the kind of mental illness that the person has. Anxiety is one of the most common that you will see. Getting anxious about what will happen tomorrow, or how will money come, or will I lose my job, will my wife leave me, or something like that. And then when he leaves that, then he goes to other levels and then can go into other more sinister, if I can put it that way. But probably the commonest is anxiety. In you, many people during this COVID, particularly the lockdown, had nothing really to do but watch TV. I can give you a personal experience. After a while watching TV, I had to say to myself, I can't keep watching the same morbid news over and over because it begins to affect your own mentation and all the rest and all disposition. And then you begin to get anxious or worried. And then you say to yourself, hey, I can't sit with this. I need to plan my time. In social media today, there are too many things that are false, that are fake. And if you're not careful, and they are not from substantiated sources, they're just people lifting them and pasting them, and they are not authenticated. So they can begin to affect. And that's why it's very important in a society to be very observant of your friends, your family members. Anytime you see a deviation from what is associated with that person customarily, it must begin to give you a warning sign that there's something going on here. Some of the things you will see, the person gets unduly anxious, the person is worried, is fidgety, he can't stay in one place, and even in talking, you can see some form of anxiety, some form of disturbance in the way the person presents, or when person does not eat very well as he used to eat, or he begins to eat too much, is not sleeping well. I mean, those are things that they're very subtle signs that as people we must begin to understand, particularly in these days in which the element of anxiety is high, societal disturbances to normal living, then you begin to watch. So the thing we must begin to first of all do in this country is to create an association of a situation of destigmatization, that people can feel free to walk up to the medical practitioner, to walk up to the clinic in the office, in the hospital, wherever, and to say, look, this. If today somebody goes to Yaba, the moment he does that, people begin to look at him differently, say he's going to Yaba Akwausi. And there's nothing wrong. You see, that's why there's a lot of people suffering from mental illness in this country, and they can't seek management because they're worried about what people will say about them. People should learn to take their leave. People should learn to spend weekend relaxing. You can go watch a film, you can read a book, depending on what you choose to do that relaxes your mind. If then those things don't work, then one can seek maybe support group help from friends. Oh, but this is what is it, and then you can find time where you can relax your brain, play football, go and watch football. People need help, and that we must be our brother's keepers, because the little you do can make a difference in the life of someone. And so for me, I think one of these things that why I'm doing this for is because of the awareness. We must begin to create an awareness in this country that mental illness is not madness. It's just a deviation from normal. And again, who dictates normal? So we need to begin to understand the interrelationship of society, of the person, of circumstances where we live, and the things we do. If we can understand those things, we find that we can help one another, and then the society is better. Because when the society has a lot of people that are anxious, that are worried, we can't be productive. Do we understand? For instance, I said to people, when you are working in an office, do you know your colleagues? I'm not saying go to their houses to drink, but do you know them? Can you say, this that happened? No, it can't be this person because of what you have said. But we're too much in a hurry with ourselves to care about the next person. And then it's when we bring us, and I noticed though, it's already too late.